the Texans now, we can move on to some AFC South talk because we love, again, a little bit of a Texans podcast here. Finally, CJ Stroud is back. Yes, Zach. CJ Stroud was back this week.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
it.
Hey,
Zach did pick the Texans.
He did. He was dozing off in the world of Hinge during the predictions last week's episode. But yeah, so the Texans now, arguably the most exciting game, or one of the most exciting games next week, will be the Texans and the Colts. The winner of that game gets in as the wild card team in the AFC. With a tie, though, there opens up a door for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, if we beat the Seahawks today,
yeah, if you beat the
going on
Seahawks
right now during
that game is not going to be a tie.
But anyway, CJ Stroud and the Texans come back. They get a big win, a really convincing win against Will Levis and then later Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. Now, as good as CJ Stroud looked in this one, he wound up 24 for 32, 213 yards and a touchdown. First game back after multiple weeks out with the concussion. The Houston defense was just phenomenal today. They had 6 sacks on Tennessee. Really, what is it here? 187 yards of total offense for the Titans. This was one of those performances where you sit back and go, wow, this Texans team, if they can just get in with the way CJ Stroud has been playing throughout this entire season, when the defense is on, they are swarming. That's their motto, right? Swarm in Houston. It would be a lot of fun, and I'm rooting for that team to get in because I think they can make some noise even with all the injuries the offense has sustained.
It was a solid all-around
It was an ass whooping.
It was just a very solid performance. I mean, it's the type of game that you, as a playoff hopeful on your home field against a team who stinks, it's the type of game that you want to see. Just go out there and thrash them, which they did. I don't really have a whole lot of hope for the Texans to do a whole lot in the playoffs. Like who they go to, like a team like Miami in the first round, something like that.
They're going to play the AFC winner if they make the playoffs and the Jaguars win.
Wait, who will they play? Let's say they
get the AFC East winner.
Yes, like the Bills or the Dolphins. I don't see much past the wild card.
I can see them beating Miami.
I couldn't see them beating Miami.
Depending on where these injuries go for the Dolphins.
Ain't nobody beating us.
Yes.
But no, look again. Like it's similar to the Bucs, right? This team had a win total of 4 or 5. You draft a rookie quarterback, a bunch of rookies. You have no expectations. Now you're 1 win away from going to the postseason. Mm-hmm. Anything on top of that is just gravy.
And it is worth noting, right? Like Trevor Lawrence is not healthy. The Jaguars do have to win next week to lock up the division. If CJ Beathard's not able to get it done in Tennessee, Jaguars are on the road and the Texans win. Now we're talking about them hosting the Browns, which again, I'm not sure that's exactly what you want to be doing, but there's a possibility there.
I love watching this Texans team, though. To me, they're still, when Stroud is playing, one of the most fun teams in the league to sit back and just like look at all these young kids go out there and just work their asses off. And they're like when he's healthy, they are probably a top what? You think they're a top 5 AFC team with CJ Stroud healthy?
Yeah, I'd probably go Buffalo, Miami, Baltimore.
You take him over Kansas City?
You don't have to. You just have to take him over one of Kansas City or Cincinnati. That's it.
Well, I'd probably put the Browns above them right now, with the way the Browns are playing. But
it's close. They're running close.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you really trust Joe? Yeah.
I mean, if Houston were to win the division, I do think Jacksonville beats Tennessee. But if they don't, and Houston wins the division, gets the number 4 seed, I would pick and win that playoff game against Cleveland most likely.
Do you think they'll beat the Colts next week in Indianapolis? And we'll talk a lot more about this on the prediction show. But
yeah, I probably would take them over the Colts.
I feel like everyone will take them, and then there'll be this weird spot where the Colts find a way. The Colts, no one talks about the Colts at all, and they currently control their destiny to the wild card spot. I don't know what's going on with them. They're a weird team. They're one of those teams like
both teams are pretty solid teams.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch.
That's true. I think back to the start of the season, right? It was week 2 when the Colts beat the Texans with Gardner Minshew.
Yep.
And after Anthony Richardson went out, I think it was either week 3 or week 4 for the season. If you could tell both these teams week 18, they'd be playing each other for a wild card spot. I mean, that's a really exciting situation for both their fans to be.
Yeah.
But ultimately, to me, it's going to come down to, I think CJ Stroud is a superstar quarterback, and Gardner Minshew can get the job done. CJ Stroud is who I'm backing in that game. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm pretty confident the Texans are going to win that game, barring some crazy injury at the start of it.